there are many more examples in the Bible where people worshipped other people. For example, in the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 25, verses 23 and 24, it states, Abigail fell before David on her face and bowed herself to the ground. Okay, this is worshipping. Then in the book of Genesis, chapter 50, verse 18, we are told, and Joseph's brethren also went and fell down before his face, and they said, behold, we be thy servants. In the book of Daniel, chapter 2, verses 46 to 48, we read, then the king Nebuchadnezzar fell upon his face and worshipped worshipped prophet Daniel, and commanded that they should offer an oblation and sweet odors unto him. So what do we learn here? We learn that the word worship is actually quite misunderstood by the Christians who read the biblical translations. In the Greek language, the word is prosikoniton, right? Proskunion, right? That's the word in the Greek language, and it is used across the board throughout the Bible, and there are people worshipping prophets like David, Daniel, and other examples. This worship does not amount to worship as God. Rather, this means honoring the prophet, dignifying the prophet, respecting the prophet. And previously people used to do that. They used to bow, they used to fall down on earth, they used to prostrate. It was allowed previously, right?
Now, in Koine Greek, in New Testament Greek, there are two words for worship used in the New Testament. The first word is proskuneo, which is a compound word that comes from the preposition pros, which means toward, and the word kuon, which means a dog. What do dogs do when they see their masters? They kiss their hands. So in the New Testament says that the disciples worshipped Jesus, usually how Christians will translate proskuneo. When the disciples quote unquote worshipped Jesus, like the King James Version says that, the Greek is proskuneo, which means they revered him, they respected him, they kissed his hand. In John chapter 9, Jesus heals a blind man. He sees him in the temple of Solomon later, and this man thanks Jesus, and the Greek says he made proskuneo towards him. Are we really to believe that a Jewish man inside the temple of Solomon is worshiping Jesus as God and committing idolatry? No. In fact, in the Bible, the same verb is used to show respect to Jewish high priests and angels. They are not being worshipped as God. The Hebrew avad, the verb avad, the cognate is abada ya'budu, is translated as latreo in Greek. And this is the verb for worship that is only due to God. It is never used of Isa alayhi salam in the New Testament. In fact, Christ himself says in Luke chapter 4 verse 8, Kai autu manu latreuses, and him alone, meaning God, will you render worship as God, because he is the only God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.